Test and incomplete on a deep post. The intended receiver for the Sages might have been Welter once again.
I will say, Tim, though, that right side of the defensive line was just absolutely attacking there for the Indians. They were working the offensive line there for the Sages, and I wonder if maybe they keep working through the night if we can get some more stops here.
I'll double check. That was not Welter there. That was Carter Foreign on the deep route. There he's split out. There's the option play. This is Young. Gets the corner. Young inside the 15. That's enough for a first down. And the Sages are a-knocking once again. Early in the second quarter, up by 14 already.
Well, Tim, they haven't moved the chains yet, so we'll see where they spot it at. And it looks like
it should be a first down. The marker's at the 16. They marked the ball at the 14. I don't see any yellow hanky on the field.
They're going to march them back, it looks like here, Tim.
Well, they said, okay, I don't see the flag, but they're calling for an illegal motion. Boy, last week in the first half, it was Pontiac that had all the penalties. The good news is, if there is any, it's the visitors that have all the penalties so far.
And Tim, this is
that's normally not a Cully Welter type team with all these penalties.
And Tim, this is an opportunity you have to take advantage of. It's right there. Look at the pressure to the quarterback. Forces an incomplete pass. If the Indians can keep that up and get in the end zone, if we can work on the offensive game, this is definitely a complete different ball game.
Well, that's Hunter Melvin that delivered the blow that forced Teskey to unload early. Boy, and this time, I have not noticed this before, but the entire offensive skilled people go over to the sidelines to get the play call. The linemen stay on the field. I think they've probably been doing that. I probably just didn't notice it. I don't know if you at home have been able to notice that. A little different. This is Young on the corner. Not this time. Nice stop by the Indians there. And that is Jacob Fogarty comes up from his corner spot defensively. And Young never had a chance to turn the corner. 4th and long. And they'll go for it. So the Indians trying to overcome their second interception of the first half and keep Monticello at bay here, down by 14 already. Let's see if the defense can crank it up. Well, before we go any further, we got a timeout in the field. Monticello wants to talk about it. Help your teen or tween take their first step towards financial freedom with an early start checking from SoQ. They can show their team spirit with a Pontiac Indians debit card handed to them the very same day. But that's not all. We have a whole suite of checking products that are sure to make the crowd go wild. Fresh Start Checking. For those getting back on their feet, senior checking that comes with 2 boxes of free checks per year, and high-yield checking. Stop into any SoQ branch today and join the family. All checking subject to credit approval, federally insured by the NCUA. Well, let's see what Coach Welter has up his sleeve here.
Yeah, no doubt, Tim. 4th down once again and long. It's a great opportunity for the Indians to get a stop here. And if they can, they have plenty of time to work it back to the end zone and get another stop. But do just want to make one more point about the stream. We are working with technical difficulties and working on the stream to the fans at home. And if this stream does go down again, we are recording.
And we're going down with a sack. Well, it's not a sack, but it's a stop on the 4th down. The crowd got into it, and it energized the kids, and the Indians come up with a huge stop on 4th down. Monticello turns it over, Jake.
Yeah, it's great to see that right there for the Indians. This gives them an opportunity to go back down the field and hopefully look to the end zone. Yeah, and back to the point, Tim, we are recording this stream too now, so if we do happen to lose the live stream, we will have a recording back later if we can't get it back live. But for some reason, working with some technical difficulties, and we are working at it and trying to bring you the best picture and broadcast we can at home. So just wanted to let everyone know we are working on it.
The trials and tribulations of technology some days. Run up the middle and going nowhere. That was Hunter Wilson, I think. Yep, Hunter Wilson. Wilson just has not gotten anything going, and it's not because there's just a lot of white shirts, yellow pants right in his face in that backfield. Loss of 1, second down.
Yeah, no doubt, Tim. Last week at PBL, he was able to work it a little bit, and
he got to the outside a couple of times.
Yeah, here tonight just hasn't been able to do anything.
Dumped out in the flat. Bowman trying to create some room. And this one, in all likelihood, is going to come back. They're going to get Hunter Melvin on a holding penalty, I believe. Bowman did pick up about 5 on the play that would set up third and relatively short. There's the call, another holding penalty, this time against the orange and blue. So that's a spot foul. And they'll mark it off 10 from the 28-yard line. That'll be marked at the 18. And for an offense that struggles to move the ball at times, that is almost a killer there in terms of trying to pick up a first dive, a drive killer, if you will.
Well, yeah, Tim, and really that run there by Bowman once he cut it out in the flat would have been great field position, and DeLong was absolutely lit up there in the backfield.
Well, now we got another flag. That might be a face mask. First of all, DeLong got smoked, but give the kid credit. He's stuck in the pocket, and that was Hunter Melvin catches it, and then he gets spun around. Yep, there it's face mask. That's going to be a a walk-off, and that's going to give the Indians a first down.
Well, and here's the thing, Tim, is going back to quarterback A.J. DeLong, he's still limping around. He's feeling it. He got absolutely lit up there in the backfield, Tim, and, man, you can tell he's just hurting. That's not a good hit for the quarterback there.
No, your quarterback can't take very many of those type of hits, no doubt about it.
Well, nonetheless, though, Tim, the orange and blue pick up a first down here, and they're looking to grab another one.
9:41, second quarter. And they'll reset the clock. There's the snap up the middle, and Wilson had a little bit of running room, a crease, if you will, but it was covered up quickly. He might have gained 2 on the play. See right there, Poindexter's in at one of those offensive line spots. Blackwell is out.
And Tim, I believe Jackson Crawford replaced by Jack Demopoulos here tonight, I believe, is the substitution there, just to make a note on that.
DeLong dumps it out in the flat once again, trying to get the quick receiver in Kerr Bowman going. But needless to say, Kerr's a marked man. And there's a reason why there's 4 or 5 yellow and white shirts flying around him.
Yeah, Tim, they've seen it the last couple of weeks here. Thus far in the season, Amazing King and Kerr Bowman are #1 targets for the Indians, and that's just what it is. The film shows the same to both ways, and Monticello able to pick up on that.
They have not thrown to King yet tonight. DeLong and company have not. 3rd and long. We'll say 3rd and 8. They better hurry. They got 3 seconds to get the snap off. And they got to burn a timeout. So we got a timeout. We'll keep it right here. Remember, strong roots have strong yields. If you want performance that counts, it starts with a legacy of superior results found with Bowman Seed, your local legacy DeKalb and Asgrow dealer. Contact Andy Bowman with Bowman Seed, 822-4777 for all your seed needs. Graymont Co-op has been serving agriculture since 1903 with grain, agronomy, feed, insurance, and now internet. If you would like to join the Graymont Co-op team, visit GraymontCoop.com and fill out an application. Everyone at Graymont Co-op looking for another great year of Pontiac sports at the high school. .8:15, the Indians down by 14 zip. The good news is Monticello looked like they were going to put about 60 on the board in the first half. First two drives, and then they have really struggled and have not, they've shot themselves with penalty after penalty, holding to be specific. And the Indians' last defensive possession came up with a great stop. So let's see somehow the Indians can convert. Need a home run ball. Dumped in the flat. Wilson going nowhere. That ball almost got stripped the way they recovered, but he fell on it, did Hunter Wilson.
And well, Tim, just a point to make. During film this week, I believe it was brought up that really Monticello, with their contest with Central Catholic last week, there in Monticello, really it was a first quarter ball game for Central Catholic and Monticello both. And really beyond that, Monticello didn't do too much, Tim.
Well, a whole lot of teams haven't done a whole lot when you play Central Catholic. You know, the marquee matchup in the conference tonight is Central Catholic and Tolono Unity. That's the big one. That's a great punt by the Indian. Fair catch. Colbert drops it, stripped, and the Indians fall on it. How about that? Amazing King comes up with the turnover and the loose ball.
Wow. And Tim, right here, the Indians have to find the end zone on this drive. That's an opportunity that doesn't come every game, and they have to take advantage of it here, no doubt.
Well, as you saw, the ball went right through the wickets of Colbert, hit on the turf, fell, bounced right back up in the air, and right into the hands of King, and he almost broke a tackle and would have scored. So the Indians are in business. This is their deepest penetration in the first half. They are at the Sages 25, up the middle. Still very little running room for the Indian. Wilson once again on the carry. We'll give Wilson a gain of 1. Second and 9. Halfway home through the second quarter. Wilson up the middle again is wrapped up from behind. Never could get going. And that's Sage's interior defense. Their front four dominating that offensive line of the Indians for the most part. So 3rd and 8. Pontiac's got to be obviously in 4-down territory. Let's hope they don't have to worry about it. See if they come up big on this 3rd down and long.
You got to take advantage of opportunity, Tim, no doubt.
No doubt about it. You don't get gift wrapped like that. There's movement. I don't know if the Sage jumped into neutral zone or we hitched up our offensive line. They're going to say our offensive line, a legal procedure, came out of a 3-point stance. And I saw one jersey pop up, and I couldn't see who that was. A 5-yard walk-off. Now it becomes 3rd and 13. 6:08 to go before halftime.
You just can't do that, Tim. I mean, you give away opportunities and penalties like that, and that's just really what loses you the ball game. I mean, it sucks to say, but it's just plain and simple. You can't do it. And
I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more.
You know, you erase some of these simple mistakes here from the Indians, and they play a lot better ball games this year. And it's just really front and center of the penalties, the tackling ability, and different things of that nature. It's a self-harm.
Yep.
It's nothing.
It's self-destruction, no doubt about it. We got a timeout in the field. State Bank of Graymont understands the farming community and has been helping area farmers prosper since 1913. All of the loan officers have been involved in ag lending for many years, all with farm backgrounds. Stop by and visit with Scott Bachnick, Blair Barton, Paul Russo, Denny Stevens, Ashley Ralph, and Brandon Tate. State Bank of Graymont offers operating lines of credit and loans for machinery, buildings, and equipment, farm service agency loan programs, and farm real estate. Enjoy the bank's free regular checking account, unlimited check writing, no monthly service charge, free internet banking, and account access 24. See State Bank of Graymont in Graymont, Chenoa, Pontiac, Sonneman, or visit the website sbofgray.com, member FDIC. Well, the ebb and flow of this game has been erratic at best because both teams really guilty of penalties. Boy, this is week 5. 2-2 are the Sages, 1-2 in the conference, and they've lost to Central Catholic and either St. Joe Ogden or Tolono Unity, one of the two, I can't remember. 2-2 overall, they won a non-conference game. Indians 1-3, ran tools to win. DeLong's looking for a miracle third and forever. Dumps it long. Bowman! Touchdown! Kerr! Bowman! And the Indians are on the board.
That's what we needed, Tim. Way to just take advantage of they took advantage of the opportunity finally. The Indians get on the board, and it's a one-score game here. Hopefully, once they can convert.
Ask for the miracle, you'll receive the miracle. A deep crossing route, and in the left corner of the end zone, Bowman goes up and uses his ability to jump and out-jump everybody and comes up with the football. 2-point conversion. And caught. 2 is good. That might have been Hunter Melvin. Caught it in a crowd. And just like that, excuse me, right? Just like that, Indians right back in the ball game.
That's a mentality right there, Tim. Never say never. Got to keep working at it. And well, Tim, they're back on the board. It's 14-8. Sage is up over Pontiac, and maybe we get a stop here. Indians can get a score, tie this thing up before halftime.
Once again, Bowman lined up on the far right side, and he ran literally the length and stretched the field, and ran from one side of the field to another. And he had double coverage on him, pretty good coverage, but Bowman just made it play, and that's where the athlete comes into play. Kerr Bowman, another touchdown for the Indians. This is Young on the return. Young's got room at the 35, but hang on. It's our friendly flag that comes in. My guess, this will go against Monticello, and they'll start with poor field position.
We've seen our friendly yellow flag way too much the last couple of weeks, Tim. There's no doubt about that.
You know, as much and as many times these officials have thrown these flags, I'm assuming they are throwing it for the right reasons. Once in a while, I'll get on the old Zebras, and I'm going to stand corrected. This one's going to go against Pontiac. Let's see what this one's all about. Normally on the return, it's some sort of illegal block. I never did see the call. They might have been defensive holding, which you rarely see. I don't know how you can hold defensively. But in any event, this is Teskey, And Testy turns the corner. This one's going to come back. That is going to be holding against Monticello. And for the sake of the pace of the game, I'll be fortunate. Let's get to halftime. These flags are ridiculous. 5:26 to go. The Indians will certainly take it, though. Another holding penalty. This time that might have been a number 3 in Welter on that one-on-one block on the outside there, the whiteout. His hand caught in the cookie jar. I see Blackwell's back in the line up there. That's good news. I didn't hope he was injured. He's one of those tackles on that front 4. Defensive tackle I'm speaking of. Pena lines up on that left end right next to him. This will be 1st and 20. Teskey dumps it, dropped. There's going to be minimal yardage. Colbert, the intended receiver. And that's Fogarty, the intended that provided the coverage. Soon as Colbert was going to catch it, Fogarty was right in his back pocket. And Colbert might have heard steps.
Yeah, Tim. Hey, right there. Look at this. 2nd and forever here for the Sages. Now, I say that, and maybe we'll see a quick pass over the air, which I think they're decent at here, Tim. But
Teskey's going to keep it. He's got some running room. We need to take the angle, and we do a nice job of bouncing him out of bounds before he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, which will set up 3rd and about 12. Bowman credited with that with his speed. Teskey and Bowman both trying to get to the corner first. Sometimes we just don't take good angles, and that's kids learning how to tackle. That's just ingrained in a program. And when you're building a program, that's one of the basic building blocks. That time we didn't, but Bowman bails him out.
yeah, Tim, that's one of those bad habits that's hard to break, but
The
so
bomb, wide open, caught, touchdown. No flags this time, and Monticello strikes right back. Teskey to Foreign. Carter Foreign broke loose at the 20, beat the defender, was open by about 6 yards as you saw, and a nice over-the-shoulder catch and walks into the end zone. Boy, oh boy. 3rd and 12, and that's tough. 2-point conversion, razzle-dazzle, wide open in the end zone. Did he get his foot down? No. Should have been 2. Welter couldn't get, the pass sailed on Teskey. And they'll have to settle for 6 in that possession. 4:35 to go in the second quarter. And it's 20-8. Monticello. Folks, enjoy house ground steak burgers, smokehouse salads, appetizers, select smoked features, and home-styled horseshoe at Bob and Ringo's Grill and Smokehouse in downtown Pontiac. They're open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 2 and 4 to 8, Friday, 11 to 2 and 4 to 9, Saturday, 11 to 9, and Sunday, 11 to 8. Weekly specials include smoked rib quesadilla, brisket, burnt ends, and ribs. Also try their homemade sauces like barbecue, buffalo, Cajun, and the great original ranch. Contact Bob and Ringo's Grill and Smokehouse for carryout or to set up a reservation, 844-6565. Bob and Ringo's Grill and Smokehouse. Boy, that sounds good. All right, there's the kickoff. Bouncing on the ground, picked up, chance to return. Bowman. See, we get some fireworks of our own again. And he slips out at the 39-yard line. Good field position.
Hey, Tim, 4 minutes and 31 seconds left to go. Perfect amount of time for the Indians to get down the field, get a score, go into halftime without Monticello having a chance to get back to their end zone.
I agree. Couple of big plays. by Monticello has been the difference. What, a 49-yard pass and catch from them on their first touchdown. That was Teskey to Colbert. And then the big play to Foreign. That was on a 3rd and 12. That play covered about 52 yards. Take those two away, we're right in business. The snap. And again, tough running. I know you got to try to work at that, trying to spring. I think that's Hunter Wilson once again. Riley Johnson's coming in.
Well, that and Tim, it looks like maybe Hunter Wilson's still on the ground here.
Yeah, let's hope he's all right. Right now, he looks to be in a little bit of pain. 4:14 to go in the second quarter. I think that's, I'm pretty certain that is Hunter Wilson. We'll get a definitive confirmation on that when the young man gets up. Good news is he's sitting up. I hate to speculate. It almost looks like he's holding his left shoulder or arm.
Yeah, looks like it, Tim. Looks like he's in a lot of pain there on that left side. And OSF trainer Ryan Darko, who's been here for a few years, and Thomas Murphy, doctor here for OSF, both out there to help with Hunter Wilson. But yeah, it does look like he's kind of nursing his left arm, left shoulder area.
And that is Hunter Wilson, number 23 there.
I will say, I believe he may have been nursing a little bit of a hurt wrist-hand combination at some point during this week. I don't know for sure, but maybe something with that further evolved.
Well, let's hope. It's maybe it's possible a foot or a helmet could have been a direct blow on that wrist and arm. That certainly will hurt. Let's hope he's okay. And it looked like they might be looking at a shoulder as well. Okay, back to action. No gain for Hunter. Riley Johnson into the lineup. Fake to him, dump to Hunter Melvin. And he picked up about 2 or 3, a quick hitter in the flat on the near side here.
Now see if if they can do that here on this 3rd down and maybe pick up the same amount of yards or maybe just a couple more, you're right there with a 4th and short, or maybe if they can convert here. But decent field position here for 3rd down. Not quite what we want, but I think a little bit of room to work with here, Tim.
Let's see if this offensive line can give DeLong enough time to get our route and playmakers out in the open. DeLong looking underneath. That play was going absolutely nowhere. Kerr Bowman, the intended receiver. Not a big fan of that play, but that's just me. I'm certainly not second-guessing the coaching staff, but never had a chance.
Yeah, Tim, they'll look now to punt here. Punt team comes out with Marcus Martinez, one of their seniors. He had a good punt here earlier, Tim, but the only problem is 3:28 left to go. Didn't burn a lot of time.
Plenty of time for this high-octane offense of the Sages. Gets it off. Not a particularly good boot this time. Actually, it goes sideways. It's going to come to a rest light right at the 40-yard line there, right at the 40.
Would be great to see a turnover here forced by the Indians. Maybe they can get the ball back here with Monticello just on the doorstep of the Indian territory. But
we are in the second quarter, 3:17 to go before halftime. It's homecoming this weekend. A great crowd is on hand. The student body, they've had a couple of moments to get excited.
We had a little bit of confetti floating to the booth here.
Yep, that was on that touchdown catch of DeLong to Bowman there. You're right. Let's see if we can corral Teskey and company. He's solid, no doubt about it. He loves to throw the football. Behind Colbert that time, incomplete, 2nd and 10.
And Tim, right there, maybe if that ball bobbled a little more, that could have been the Indians' way. And
yeah, they ruled that. That was a forward pass that you're referring to. It was getting close to being a lateral, but certainly a forward pass. Falls to the ground, 2nd and 10. Stops the clock, 3:13. Welter's got speed. Colbert's got speed. Foreign has speed. This time it's a run. Young trying to turn the corner, and the Indians do a nice job of not allowing him to get into space. And he'll set up a 3rd and 9 there, only a gain of 1. Nicely done by our defensive unit. That time, flying to the football, as they say.
Yeah, Tim, one of the things we've seen in the last couple of weeks from the Indians is a lot of run, anticipate, and wait for the runner to get there. Instead, you got to go attack the football.
Yeah,
you can't just wait until they meet you and run right over you. So I think the tackling and the just full-on aggression here from the Indians has really picked up here thus far.
And the far side caught on the play. First down. I don't know if that's Colbert or Welter. Trey Welter, number 3 on that far side. Boy, they convert again on a 3rd and long. Did that last drive to set up the touchdown.
And Tim, 2:27 left to go. Still plenty of time for Monticello.
And now they're dinking and dunking, as you can expect. Dump out to Welter on that far side again. I think he picked up about 4 or 5. Let's see where they spot it. Well, he must have stepped out of bounds. They only give him a gain of a couple. 2:18. Monticello has 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half. From the shotgun. Pressure applied to screen pass. Caught. Young. Got some blockers right up the middle. No flags on the play. Gorgeous design to play. And the Sages are on the move. They'll mark it at the 20, 1st and 10.
Tim, the pressure was there by Santi Pena. It was a little bit longer, and then we would have had a different outcome there on that drive. Before they chains are set, they're ready to go again, trying to catch the Indians off balance here.
Big time hurry up on that first down call. Welter picks up about 7 on the play, we'll call it. 2nd and 3. That's a basic route, and our DBs got to respect the speed of Welter, so they lay off of him a little bit, and it's an easy pass and catch, Teskey to Welter there. You know, when the Indians in the heyday of the 90s and 2000, you saw a Mick Peterson offense do that repeatedly. Our great whiteouts and the speed they have, you got to respect it, or they'll blow right by you. And that's what they're probably trying to set up at some point. Coach Gadberry's having a chat with the official. Something about the clock. 1:46 is on the scoreboard. Plenty of time for Monticello. Up 20-8. Trying to add to it before halftime. A lengthy discussion right here. Kelly Electric, Pontiac, proud sponsor of Pontiac Sports. Kelly Electric, part of the community and activities such as Pontiac Township High School athletics. They've been supporters and contributors for years. They work hard to Kelly Electric to get the job done right the first time. Wiring Central Illinois for more than 40 years. Thank you, Kelly Electric. I don't know what that conversation was about.
Well, you know, Tim, we saw Athletic Director John Neisler up here earlier. While he was working on the stream, he was also, I think he was taking a peek at the scoreboard manual, which does sit right behind us here on our table, Tim. So I wonder if maybe something amiss on the scoreboard that they're looking at. Not sure, but they were referencing it there on the
I
field.
think what's the problem is, I think the clock, the snap clock, you only have so many, 35 seconds, and I think the clock is malfunctioned. It's stuck on 25 at the moment.
Well,
I don't know if they can reset it.
Well, now, Tim, defensive coordinator Josh Meisner and head coach Zach Gadberry, they were pointing up here to the booth.
That's what the problem is,
I think it looks like they're trying to signal 2 minutes. I wonder if they're trying to get 2 minutes back on the game clock versus the play clock.
Okay.
Tim.
All right. I think, all right, they're switching that around. There you go. You are correct. I was in error. It's not the It's not the snap cloud, it is the game. Meanwhile, first down for the Sages. That was pretty simple. Quarterback draw right up the middle. Teskey. Pena on the tackle, but not before first and goal at the 6. Young. Touchdown. Ike Young made it look easy. Went in off the left side untouched. And just like that, Monticello up 26-8. At times, this football team just has a very difficult time getting heads and shoulders and pads on skilled people. Boy, there was just nobody there at the corner to stop Young. They'll go for the extra point. It's airborne, and it's good. So with 1:44 to go before halftime activities, Monticello on the road, up 27-8. Well, are you ready for another great year in Pontiac? Well, Cypress Creek Renewables would like to give a huge shout out to all the hardworking students and staff here at Pontiac Township High School, and they're ready to make this year the best it can be. Best of luck this season from all the staff and crew at Cypress Creek who will be cheering you on along the way. Cypress Creek Renewables, powering a sustainable future one project at a time, and proud to be a proud supporter of all Pontiac athletics. Well, the Indians fell behind 14-0. Converted on a 3rd and forever from 49 yards out. That was DeLong to Kerr, Bowman. But then Monticello has bounced back with 2 quick scores in command once again. This is Bowman from the 17. Bowman at the 30. Bowman splits 2 defenders but is tripped up near the 40-yard line, and that's where the Indians will start this possession with under 2 minutes to go before halftime activities.
And Tim, you saw the reaction there from Coach Gadberry. If Bowman gets through those through those defenders a little bit more and doesn't get tripped up, he had open field in front of him, and that was going for a distance, I think.
Well, he's returned 1 touchdown already.
Yeah,
1 kickoff, I should say, for a touchdown this year, and that was at Central Catholic, the only score the Indians had that night. That was the opener.
And I will say, though, Tim, a nice change of pace is being able to see the Indians get on the board in these games. The last couple of weeks, they've at least gotten on the board more regularly than they have in the last couple of years. So at least something positive to pick up on.
Baby steps, that's what it takes with developing a program. Riley Johnson, and he gets stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Might have fell forward the spot. They'll give him a yard. Not much the Indians can do here. Though DeLong connected on a long bomb to Bowman 2 possessions ago, so why not again, huh? Certainly has the capability.
Yeah, Tim, I would love to see a...
or King. King's capable. They haven't gone to him yet tonight.
I don't think they've targeted him.
No, they have not targeted him.
Also, Owen Stroh here on the near side.
I see Stroh's in the lineup tonight. King is on the far side there, if you can see him. In the slot is Bowman on his side as well. And they're going to run Riley Johnson, and the Indians probably their best run of the night. That'll set up 3rd and short, 47 seconds to go. Clock is running. The clock is their enemy right now, no doubt. Trying to get a play in. Hopefully they get this off before 30 seconds. They do not. All these plays are brought in from the sideline, and they got to look at the signals, and it takes time. And they're not equipped to run an efficient 2-minute drill at this point in time. I don't even know if they're going to get the snap off with 2, with 1. They do finally. DeLong Heaves it down the field. Bowman with the catch. Kerr Bowman with 1 second on the clock. The Indians will have one more shot. Bowman caught it at the 35.
Well, and see, Tim, it doesn't make much of a difference, but I do think he got out maybe at 2 seconds. Nonetheless, though, great connection there. I wish we could see that a little bit more, and maybe gives the Indians a few more chances. But they have to look to the end zone now, and Kerr Bowman maybe a little shaken up after that one.
Yeah, I don't know if he came down awkwardly, but he cradled the ball in and slid out of bounds. So with 1 second, the final play, barring a penalty. They're going to throw it up. DeLong pulls it back in. DeLong cannot get the ball off. He is sacked, and that's the way the half will end.
Just wasn't quite enough time, and not quite enough of a good target there for DeLong, Tim, and that'll bring us to halftime.
All right, we're at halftime. Homecoming 2023, and Monticello is ruining the party at the moment. At halftime, Monticello 27, Pontiac 8. And we'll come back after this timeout. We are at halftime here at Williamson Field. It's homecoming as the Marching Indians, the band out there, they are providing halftime entertainment for us. And you might see the pictures out there as we are at halftime. Once again, Monticello on the road here, up 27-8. And in the game, they jumped out to a 14-0 advantage. We being the Indians, did come up with a big pass and catch DeLong to Kerr Bowman for our only score, and that went for some 49 yards, a big third down conversion. And Bowman made a super catch in the far left corner of the end zone for that 6. But then Monticello came right back, Cully Walters' group, and Teskey and company, the quarterback, a couple of great wideouts, and Colbert and his son in Trey Welter. And they have been a thorn in the Indian defensive side, no doubt about it. And they put points on the board early and often, leading 27-8 here at halftime. A favorite 4-letter word for Terry Sullivan and Lyons Sullivan Realty is sold. Your real estate professionals serve all of Livingston and surrounding counties. Visit Lyons Sullivan Realty at 321 West Madison Street in Pontiac. Call the office 842-1400 or log on to LyonsSullivanRealty.com. Lyons Sullivan Realty. Do you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling emergency? Give DPI Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling a call, and they'll be on their way. DPI is a licensed, local, family-owned, and operated business serving the plumbing and HVAC needs of Pontiac, Fairbury, Streeter, and the surrounding Livingston County area. Their highlighted, trained, and certified technicians have the expertise necessary to help you. DPI is available 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Give them a holler, 419-2040, or visit DPI Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling at their 900 North Ladd Street address right here in Pontiac. Once again, it's halftime. Monticello, the Sages on the road, enjoying a 27-8 lead. Of course, you're listening to Indian Football on the Eye in Central Illinois, part of the Casson Media High School Sports Network, presented by Brandt Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. More halftime activities after this timeout. Again, we are at halftime here. It's homecoming, and the Indians on the short end of a 27-8 lead. We certainly appreciate all the fine sponsors of tonight's football game, of which Lion Sullivan Realty is one of them. And I might have inadvertently mentioned the four-letter word that Terry Sullivan likes to use is Soul, not Brian Sullivan, but I apologize for that. But thanks to a listener out there. I certainly appreciate it. And not to slight Terry, but Terry Sullivan at Lion Sullivan Realty, thank you. Thank you very much. We're at halftime. Hey, I know a couple of weeks ago we got a chance to talk with Coach Ritter and the boys' golf team. And I know the golf team had a busy week. They had an up and down week there, but a couple of the golfers actually came up here and said hello to me earlier this evening. And one was Mason Schlosser, and the other was Peyton Von Holten. And the story with Peyton is a couple of weeks ago, I make a lot of mistakes anymore. It must be old age, but apparently I added Peyton Manning to the golf team. No, Peyton Manning did not join Pontiac Golf, but it was Peyton Von Holten, and I apologize. All right, after Peyton and all, but it's nice to see Peyton and Mason shoot up here. Of course, Mason's my grandson. I always like to see him. And if the parents are listening in, yes, I already dictated to them to behave on homecoming, and be safe, and don't do anything stupid. I'm sorry, Jake. You just got to be right up front with kids.
That's right, Tim. You got to.
Anyway, those are good kids there in the golf team. And they got regionals coming up here next Wednesday. Their season's coming. It's compact. It's like I said, they played a lot of golf the last 2 weeks, and they got regionals right here in Pontiac at the Oaks. So good luck to the boys out there as they compete at the start of state tournament play. Also, just an update on, we'll try to get some scores for you here. And Ben Meyer working behind the scenes. He helps out here at home and certainly on the road. That gets our broadcasts up and going. But St. Mary's girls softball, their quarterfinal state tournament game down at Champion Fields in Bloomington, rained out today, and that's been moved to tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure it's a 12:30 start for the girls. If they win, they'll play again tomorrow, and they get in the semifinals. And the third place and championship game now has been moved back to Monday night. So, again, congratulations to the St. Mary girls softball team. They're 24-1. They've had a huge year. And, again, they're in the quarterfinal matchup, their game at Champion Field in Bloomington, in Normal. And that is scheduled for a 12:30 first pitch tomorrow down there. Weather's supposed to be great tomorrow. Sun's supposed to be out, I think a high of 81, if I remember right. So, Jake?
Tim, it looks like here, just from what I'm seeing, I believe 41-7, Hawks up over IVC, I believe is the call.
All right, and Ben in the background might say even saw a 48. So 48-7.
Yeah.
The Hawks, and are they on the road this week? They're in Chillicothe. Is Prairie Central? Yep, the gang are telling me yes. So that's good, and we'll try to get you an update on that. The big game in the conference is Tolono Unity and Central Catholic. Tell the truth, I thought that game was at Tolono, but don't quote me on that. But in any event, that's the big one. That's that'll drive the conference title game in that one. The winner of that one certainly will be in control. Indians, unfortunately, they got Tolono Unity on the road next week, then back home against St. Joe Ogden. Ugh.
So the game tonight, Tim, is at Central Catholic.
Okay, so it's in Bloomington. All righty, thank you.
I'm looking here now, Tim, to try and find a score for you.
I don't know if we don't have a direct with our network, but IHSA score zone sometimes, but just how quick they get updated here. Once again, we're at halftime. Monticello enjoying a 27-8 lead. If you're a baseball fan and if you're a Cub fan and you haven't completely lost it in their winning 3 of the last 13 games, they did win today. That's the good news. One up at Wrigley 6-0. So at the moment, go ahead, Jake.
14-7 is the report from IHSA.org. Bloomington Central Catholic up over Tolono.
Okay. That's got to be close, probably around halftime as well, would it not?
I would assume so.
Yep.
It doesn't look like Thursday. Or, yes, it is. 7 minutes into this, or 7-minute mark in the second quarter right now.
All right. So midway through the second, Saints are up 14-7 over Tolono Unity. And the better news, if you're a Cub fan, the Marlins are losing tonight big against the Braves. I saw where Arizona was losing big Diamondbacks in New York against the Yankees. And the Pirates and the Reds are tight. So far, so good if you're a Cub fan. We're surviving at least for one more game until tomorrow comes, and then who knows. But there's your Cub update.
No reports right now, Tim, from Rantoul PBL, but I would imagine
I'm
that's...
going to go out on a limb and say maybe PBL, but just me.
Yeah, I would imagine so, just based off of what we saw last week maybe, but...
I agree with you. There's no doubt about that.
And I will say, Tim, that I believe, I don't want to go out completely, but I do believe about 99% Hunter Wilson gone from this one. I know they wrapped up his shoulder and took him out on the golf cart and met his parents and what have you, but I'm not sure if he's still on the grounds. I don't see him. I believe as if maybe he has left and maybe checking out that shoulder, maybe elsewhere.
Well, let's hope that's not a huge injury if he's banged up that bad. Indians will kick off to start the second half. Squib, it's loose, and it's covered up there by the Sages. I always liked the nickname Sages. I thought that was a pretty cool nickname for a high school. Indians will play their first 8 games, all conference play, and they got the Maroons of Clinton High School. Week 9 up here for the final. All right, this time the Sages will try to run it up the middle, and nice job of gang tackling in the backfield. Young absolutely nowhere to go. Loss of 1 on the play. One of the few times the orange and blue have been in the backfield. Nice start to the second half for the Indian defense.
Yeah, no doubt, Tim. Great momentum getter here early on to get a stop. Hopefully they can get another one here on second and long.
This time Teskey to Young once again in the flat. Caught, stiffed arm, loose on the corner, and finally is pushed out of bounds right at the 40 in front of us. Short of the first down marker by 2 yards, 3rd and short.
Yeah, he missed the primary, the secondary, and finally got brought down there on that third attempt. I believe that was Elijah Hartkey making the trek over across the field and wrapping him up there.
You know, when you're trying to build a program and get it turned around, it's little things. Like how you play in the second half when you're down 27-8. Teskey, option, easy pickup of a first down. Near midfield. Riley Johnson on the stop, but not before a 1st and 10. Teskey looks at his the plays on his wrist, that left wrist there. Barks out the signals. They're going to dump it to Young again. Nobody home. Young's got some running room and is hit after an 8-yard pickup. That was one of the safeties or defensive backs coming out. Might have been Fogarty over there.
I think that was Marcus Martinez.
Yep,
Tim.
You're right. Not 24, but 14. You are correct. Good eyes, sir. 2nd and short. Right at the 45. This time a pitch. Ball's loose. Nope. Flipped up in the air by Young. Picked by Young. And he's got enough for a first down. Now, you don't see that every day. I thought that thing was going to hit the turf, but Young recovered on an errant toss by Teskey. Young makes it happen. Sages another first down.
If only the Indians could have been there sooner to him to get there on the bobble, but
there just wasn't. It's tough to get in that backfield. They just don't have that strength up front with their 4 and shooting a linebacker from time to time to get into that backfield as much as they should. Again, that's just developing the growth and development of the program. Ball's out. Johnson stripped. Did we fall on it? Yes, we did.